Today I'm excited to sit down with authorised instructor Billy Irvine, who's also a very good friend of mine. Billy, thanks for spending some time with me. We're going to share some coach stories on the YouTube channel, Stack&Tilt YouTube channel, and Billy's story is an interesting one, and one that I'm sure we're going to be excited to hear. We'll talk a little bit about your background, Bill, if you would, and we'll start there. Maybe we can explore a bit about camp, which is where we are this morning. You can see the clinic going on behind us, so you'll be part of that for the next 3 days.
Yes.
You're an integral part of camp. But if you wouldn't mind just starting at the beginning maybe, and just sharing your story, because I think it's a really interesting one.
Yeah, well, it goes back to the 80s for me, 1980s. I did the traditional route of going as assistant pro.
Yeah.
The playing side of it stopped faster than I would have liked, but I ended up getting a passion for coaching and started very young. So I was 39 years now. This year will be my 39th year.
You don't look old enough.
Thank you, Rob. You say the right thing. And I researched coaching quite a lot. I did my homework, but I didn't feel I really got to where I want to be. And I did have some good help along the way, but I was always looking for something that would have made the real difference. But I took some time out. It's all I'd done since 16 years old, and I felt that, I wanted to just, experience some other things. I had a passion for music, as you know.
Yes.
And guitars and music generally, and took some time out and did a handful of years working in that industry. But I had a good friend of mine, Mike York, and he offered me a job. He said, anytime you want to come back to golf, you're welcome. At that time, I didn't really think, no, it's not for me. But then, out of the blue, I ordered the Stack&Tilt book by mistake, out of interest in, he stimulated my interest in golf coaching. And I meant to order a different book, and the Stack&Tilt book turned up on my doorstep. And to cut a long story short, changed my career.
That's unbelievable.
Yeah. I read the book within an hour and a half. I went to the driving range. I understood what the ball was doing. I understood that some of my body mechanics that maybe in the past I thought were errors were actually my strong points. Could hit a push draw that started to the right and didn't cross the centre line. And I was mind blown. I couldn't sleep that night.
That's amazing.
The next day, I called my friend Mike and said I'll take the job.
That's such a cool story.
So I was back in the industry, so that was the reason I'm sitting here right now. So I can thank Andy and Mike and the system for rejuvenating my career.
Do you remember what book you were supposed to order?
It was the Gary Edwin system.
Right-sided golf.
Yeah, because some of the guys at my friend's academy. Yeah, the idea was to just see what they were up to and just see if I was interested. But no, I ordered Andy and Mike's book, and here we are today.
It's such a cool story. I mean, there's not many people that the sliding doors moment, if you like.
Yeah, absolutely.
Well, I'm very happy you ordered the wrong book. You've become an integral part of Stack&Tilt Camp, which is the event that we're at right now. We're in Spain. It's a bit early and a bit chilly this morning, but generally speaking, this is a wonderful spot. You've become a huge part of camp. Your role at camp tends to focus mostly around short game. I know you're an exceptional long game coach as well. You tend to take on the responsibility of most of the short game stuff at camp. Maybe share a little bit with the viewers about what that looks like, because not everybody understands or realises that we use a system for short game as well.
Yeah, exactly. And I think at camp we have various stations, also to pace the 8 hours or so of tuition that the pupils would go through each day. And not so much focus on playing on the course during the practice days. So the short game is obviously one of the big parts of the game. And the Stack&Tilt system has a segmental part for short game. And I think what the idea of camp and Andy's philosophy was to show how the system can interlink the components, but also identify the differences.
Yeah.
So, say for example, a bunker shot's not going to resemble a push draw on the range, but at the same time the system would have the mechanical and diagrammatic differences, so we can show the pupils and educate them of, when to change a piece.
Yeah, you can use the system to hit the ball. I suppose the easiest way to say that might be just to hit the ball higher or lower, depending on what you need.
Absolutely. And I think with the short game there are some myths. I know in your YouTube series you're quite often myth busting. I think in the short game there are lots of myths, things like shaft lean and low point. Those areas. Low point, of course, is not a myth, but low point, just understanding that shaft lean isn't, for example, always bad.
Yeah.
In fact, you need some of it, but sometimes a new philosophy will come in. Shaft lean is, everyone's using too much shaft lean, and then you see a lot of golfers that maybe overdo that piece.
Yeah.
You and I see a lot of beginning golfers that certainly don't have a problem with shaft lean in the target wood direction. They'll be leaning the shaft the other way too soon.
Exactly.
So what do you do with those golfers?
Sure.
So you still need to have an amount to know how to categorize shots. We'll use our arc system that we inherited from Mac O'Grady. That's an inherent part of the description of the short game, and how those arcs, we would use them for different shots, and as the golfer gains their skill, increasing the skill level, they can start to show how they could use a swing that would adapt those arcs to that scenario they're in.
It's adding those little details and pieces of complexity to the basic system and building it up in a way that someone would have an expectation of what the ball's going to do, and it's not just, well, I hope this one goes a bit higher, or I need this one to go a bit lower and I hope it does.
Yeah.
It's funny, like you touched on things there, like the evolution of different trends in coaching happens in the full swing, happens in short game, as you say.
Yes.
One moment shaft lean is bad, and next moment it's good. And one of the things I think we would certainly agree on is having a system that the Stack and Tilt system has given us in our coaching, has allowed us to be a lot more calm about our decision making and know what to tell somebody, and not be worried about falling too far down one route or another. It's an adaptable system that we can add the complexity as we go. You've done a wonderful job of looking after the students. I really appreciate all the help that you do and all the hard work you give. For those of you that don't realise, Billy and I are now actually teaching in the same locations.
We are.
Which is really fun. We're based in the UK. Bill, do you want to tell people where they can find us and you if they want to reach out for individual lessons and want a bit more information?
Well, firstly, Rob, thank you for having me today. Much appreciated. Rob and I are based at two venues, the Leatherhead Club in Surrey, not far from Junction 9 of the M25, and also at a series of indoor studios in London called Caddy Club. Rob and I are mainly based at the Fulham branch of that, and so that gives us pretty good accessibility if you're in the London area or flying in or passing through. If you would like to come and see us, we look forward to seeing you.
We would love that, Billy. I hope people reach out, and if you want more information on Billy's coaching, I'm going to put all of the information down in the description of this video, your Instagram. People can reach out if they want to get a lesson, learn a bit more about Stack and Tilt, maybe a bit more short game. But as I say, Billy's an exceptional long game coach as well, so I'd certainly recommend taking lessons with Billy for that. And the final thing I want to share, I think, with the audience is that you and I are going to do some Stack and Tilt practice days in the UK. So there's dates to be announced. If you're interested in learning more about that, please send an email to the email address that's in the description, and we'll keep you updated on those dates. That's going to be 2025 in the UK. We're going to finalise some pieces, haven't quite got it ready yet. But if anyone wants to join us for some Stack and Tilt practice days, that's going to happen this year.
Yeah.
Billy, thanks for your time.
Well, thank you, my friend.
I don't want to keep you too long. We've got some expecting students over there looking for some short game help.
Some grids and sticks to put on the ground.
I'm sure you're going to do another great job. Guys, thanks for watching. We've got plenty more interviews coming with other instructors. If you want to take a look at those, you can click on this video right here.